Hello and welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen, and how are you doing today? I've decided that teenagers and young adults should not have jobs. Just because of what they bring home, what they spend their money on. I really can't complain, right? I don't know if I've talked about this, but I know I told you, like, my one son came home with a boat and the other son came home with a bull. Well, my middle son, once again, came home with an electric fireplace for his room. Did I tell you this? I just can't remember. Yes, I mean, and then the funny thing is my brother saw the box by the garbage can, so he thought we got a fireplace an electric fireplace for our living room, and he was all excited. He comes in and he walks and he's like, well, where is it? And it's like, yeah, I wouldn't buy that. It's like, it's in the kid's room. Then he comes home with this itty bitty garbage can, right, for his room. I'm like, honey, you need something like twice that size, because he's always got garbage in his room from snacks and his little hug juice and whatever else he's got. Yeah. But I knew something was afoot because he came home with this envelope. And I know this envelope has got like brand releases in it. And it's like, I know cattle stuff, like stuff that comes from the stockyard. I know that paperwork, And I looked at it and I was like, what the heck is that? And he's like, it's not Dad's. And I'm like, well, no, it's not your dad's. I said, but what the heck is that? And he's like, nothing, right? And he takes off. And then my son decided that he usually takes a stock trailer because he takes a horse with. Well, no, he hooked up the stock trailer and went to work. And I'm like, what are these two up to now, right? That's all I can think. All I know is they're going 50-50. It's probably a heifer that is bred, that they're going to, oh my gosh, all the things, Kids. But then again, I think they could be spending their money on worse things. There are so many things out there that are so much worse. I shouldn't complain. But it's too funny. It's just too funny. And then my youngest can't wait to get a job so that he has more money than he makes with his allowance. Did you see that? And he just can't wait. He wants a job. He wants money so he can buy probably all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards that he can. But anyway, today is just a quickie. It's actually a catch-up for the dandelion and lilac wines, the flower wines. Remember, I racked them and I was like, nope, they're not done, because I'm going to cap them with well, maybe I have some corks now, but otherwise they're going with a twist cap so they don't breathe. So that means they have to be done. Okay, so we're checking them today. This is the December check the flower wines. And so 3 things: dream big, be true to you, you are worth it. And let's go see how these things did. Okay, and the end of our winemaking series. This took a while. It was a great experiment. I'm going to say that right off the bat. I had a fun time doing this. It was more stressful than soap because I had to wait. My bottles, as you can see, are just regular bottles with the screw-on cap. I have a wine bottle, but if you have a wine bottle with a cork, you have to store it on its side so it can breathe, okay? But I'm not going to use that. I'm using all screw top caps, okay? You want to make sure you have some sort of label for these. I did label, like the date I started, the second time I did it, and then obviously December now. And then I just poured off you shouldn't have any sediment. If you do have sediment, you can leave it in the bottom of the bottle, or you could use a cheesecloth and strain it off. That's what I would do. But you don't really want that sediment in your wine, But I've had bottles where there's just that little bit, like coffee grounds, with that pot of coffee when my husband runs it over. Yeah, that type of thing. So it makes me think of, it's like a tincture, you know? It's just an alcoholic tincture, and if there's a little bit of sediment, it's not going to be a big deal at all. So my big jug on the left, I really wanted to use that to rack them and like store them in before, but because the lid is so small, I couldn't get the airlock. I didn't want to ruin the lid, so I didn't, but I'm going to rack them in there to store now. What do I want to say about these wines? So I did some testing. You know, I did the smell. How does it smell? I did the put it in your mouth and hold it on your tongue for a while. I swirled it in the cup. You know, I did the cute little swirly swirl. And then I tasted it. Okay, so my recommendations are, next time I do this, next summer when we have lilacs, my recommendations would be to add more sugar. Don't do the raisins, do the champagne starter. And just follow her recipe a little more closely. But my favorite was the dandelion. I wasn't impressed with the lilac. The lilac smells heavenly, so I'm going to say that's probably, I should have just racked it right away and left it. You know, back in September. But anyway, that's the end of our wine series this time. I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by. I'll see you next time, and don't drink too much wine over Christmas.